The $100 million man xQc's drama train has not stopped chugging for anybody. There has been a bunch of drama revolving around him recently, and it's all kind of been a little interconnected. See, every few years, a solar eclipse happens, and these sun rays, they come down into the earth, and they affect our brains in a way that it's almost like in The Kingsman, with that one scene in the church where he starts murdering everyone, except instead of creating your feral urges to murder a bunch of Catholic people, you're murdering a bunch of people who do reaction content on Twitch and other streaming websites. Not knowing how large this drama was going to get, I actually covered this very briefly in the beginning of the video where I covered the drama between Jax Films and Sniper Wolf. So I'm going to pass the mic off to myself, and he's going to explain really the early beginnings of this situation between xQc and different content creators. So the seed that really started this fire, I don't know why a seed would start a fire, but anyway, the thing that really started this was when people started shouting out xQc and Hassan for kind of making not only the same thumbnail, but just kind of stealing the entire Lamino video. The original video that Lamino made about the Kennedy assassination was like an hour and 20 minutes. So considering the length of these, I don't think they cut much out. There isn't much left to the imagination, which kind of takes away from the content creator and kind of gives them millions of dollars. Not really millions. No one's making millions of dollars off one video, but still, it does kind of take away from that creator's like clout that he would have received otherwise. Although some could argue that the views that go to these streamers wouldn't have gone to him anyway because the people who watch them are like YouTube frogs who are just there to catch up on an xQc stream they missed. But still, I can see that argument being like stolen content. Now, some people were shouting him out about this, especially Mudahar. They were yelling about like it's a shame that garbage fills the recommended tab, and xQc actually shot back saying like, I don't know why this angers you so much, I'm just showing a video that I like to my community. As well as I think he also responded to another comment and said that the creators of the original content do claim the revenue from these videos. So I don't really feel like there is much to that argument, and that is kind of the end of where that story lies, because it is just the money's going to the original creator, and he is getting a bit of a shout due to this drama growing, so that's nice. Boy, was I wrong that I thought this was going to end there. The Mudahar and xQc drama did continue, and it really was just a bunch of Twitter back and forth. xQc wants to defend reacting to content. Mudahar thinks it's scummy content. They don't really ever come to an agreement. Mudahar ends up making a video on it, and it really doesn't go anywhere from there. They just kind of argue, eventually it becoming playground insults, like it's some sort of child fighting with their like toys in a sandbox. But overall, that was really just the end of that part. But things got worse, especially since xQc had decided to contact H3H3, also known as Ethan Klein, to get on his podcast with the very eloquent words of "debate me, old guy." So sure, and things did happen. See, the thing is, H3H3 and xQc are very, very vastly different people. xQc is a spammy, goofy, dorky dude who talks really fast and maybe makes sense half the time, and entertains a lot of people on stream because of his goofiness. While H3H3, while he is formerly like a meme guy who associated with creators like Filthy Frank and Max Mofo and stuff like that, he is mainly like a debater, podcaster, content creator now. It's what he does. It's what he's good at. And he is good at it. I'm not exactly an H3H3 avid listener. I've seen him interact with a few content creators previously, but when I do, he's very eloquent and well-worded, and him going up against xQc is like xQc going into the lion's den, because H3H3 clearly went into this very prepared. He had backup information, he had plans, and xQc went in like, I'm gonna talk, and maybe it'll make sense. And he does defend himself well sometimes, and I'm gonna show you in some of these clips, but not enough. Clearly not enough. And they talk for a little while, but the thing I wanted to get to is when H3H3 pulls up a clip, or not a clip, he pulls up an email from a note of a guy named Vince Vintage, which is a content creator that xQc had reacted to. And I'm going to play this right here. This is what Vince Vintage said. Also, it's on a Hassan clip, so excuse the dude in the bottom corner, and it's not a chair this time, so rare moment.
By xQc at all for any of my react videos. My personal take is this. I love big streamers watching, like xQc, Hassan, Mizkif, Moist Critical, watching my videos on their stream. It's a big ego boost, but when xQc does it, it's different. When he watches my video, he always re-uploads the whole thing on his YouTube channel with his insightful commentary as, wow, chat, isn't this crazy? Compared to when Hassan watched my stuff, he shouted me out and he says he loves my stuff and he sent a bunch of subscribers to my channel. A fair exchange. Here's a video. He showed me a video of Hassan doing that. And then he said, xQc, he really just steals my shit. Entertains his audience of hundreds of hours I put into my videos while I get just a link in the YouTube description. The problem isn't the reacting, it's the re-uploading of my video with his face on the thumbnail, and also, and I don't DMCA him because I don't want the Twitter drama.
He doesn't want the Twitter drama.
Wait, why are you...
The fucking vindication!
Oh my god, Hassan won't stop talking. As you can tell, xQc is getting a little cooked here. And this Vince Vintage guy, he does kind of attack xQc a little unfairly. To be fair, there are a lot of people who steal that guy's content and don't credit him fairly. But to be honest, xQc is the largest streamer in this space that does this reaction content. So he has a bit of a responsibility, especially since with the size of the audience he commands, he could easily help a lot of content creators just by giving them a little shout. It's not like you can only be subscribed to a certain amount of people on YouTube. If you were to give this dude a shout, it would end up with this dude probably growing and thriving as well. So I see H3's point in this situation, despite it being all against xQc specifically.
Why don't you just apologize to Vince Vintage?
I absolutely will, and I feel I didn't get a Twitter DM. I didn't get nothing. I feel really bad. You want to know why? Because all about the whole sphere of this, everything around it, is to make something good happen, right? And that matters to me a lot.
That's such bullshit, bro. Nice try. You literally do it to enrich yourself. You're a multimillionaire, and you steal content from small creators, and you don't give a fuck about their rights or what they want. And then your only justification is, oh yeah, you can come chase me down and complain and try to get my attention so I can pay you for the shit I stole. It's total bullshit, bro. You're not creating anything big for anyone. You're just taking attention and views for yourself, and you don't give a fuck about the consequences of that. It's not your decision to make that for other people's property.
You sound like watch out! You kind of sound like a Robin Hood or something. Are you like some sort of hero or something like that? Because it seems like you do a lot of that, and you pick a hybrid on it.
Right here we see more valid points from H3H3. And, I mean, xQc does defend himself to a certain extent, but really, to make something good happen isn't really valid, because he could easily just shout out these creators, especially when H3H3 is kind of showing that these people do actually care. And the fact that they need to reach out to him as well, with him being one of the biggest creators, I don't want to DM a huge content creator if something happens like that. It feels uncomfortable. It feels wrong. And, of course, they could copyright strike or copyright claim and steal the money from that video, but really the shout out to the subscribers is the important part, because growing as a content creator is money as well, and it's more money than just getting some from one video. xQc proceeds to argue that Vince Vintage was a paid actor, which I can see an argument for that. I can see people saying, oh, he was, because of how avidly he immediately attacked xQc, because that message that he had from Vince Vintage was apparently after one interaction where he just asked him his thoughts on the situation. So the fact that he immediately started going after xQc, which was also the topic of that podcast, was a bit strange. I don't think he was necessarily a paid actor. It could have been there was more of a conversation than what he immediately led on, but still, that's a smaller thing, because this podcast, it was a lot more than just the Vince Vintage situation, but it did kind of encompass the real theme of that podcast in this small interaction. There is a full-length thing on H3H3's channel, and I don't want to steal all of it from him, because there's a lot more to unpack there, and I don't want to make a 3-hour-long video, so I just wanted to talk about the really important stuff. And of course, things immediately devolved into playground insults once things started going bad, because I don't think xQc and H3H3's, brains mesh well together. One of them is a fast-talking goofball whose arguments rarely make sense, and the other person is a very logistical, podcast debater, as I said. So, just watch this clip on how things kind of devolved very quickly.
People would rather watch me full screen cam do the fucking worm than watch your prime.
Bro,
watch your
do
prime
it for
content.
a week. Do a week of no reaction content and see how many fucking views you get. Oh, he's crying in the corner. Oh, okay, sure. I mean, that's content, man. It's original content, at least. Yes, do that, bro. Dude, do a week.
Fucking love it, man. Bro, this is the most money you've had in the past fucking 4 years, bitch.
It's awesome.
So yeah, he did the worm. Also, my cat joined me in my lap, so say hello to Jedi. Yeah, he did the worm for some reason. I think it's kind of funny trying to truly show that he can make original content. And to be honest, xQc, as large as he is, could probably do the worm and get thousands of viewers and probably thousands of dollars as well, because he is just a strange individual that thrives off of being a strange individual. One of the things that H3H3 ends the conversation with is saying that he thinks that xQc could, here's the quote exactly. I'm not going to play the clip because it's literally just what he says. You're not going to be able to make 12 hours of content for Kick, who paid you $100 million, if you can't steal other people's content. And to that, he's right. He is. There isn't really a wrong way of making putting that out there. xQc's reaction content is what keeps him going, because it's what you do in between gaming. He can game, he can talk, but the reaction content pads out your stream for a few good hours. And I would know this as a streamer myself. Reaction content can be really, really good for padding out time. Although me personally, I'm terrified of not speaking for more than a minute. So whenever I'm watching videos, I constantly talk all the damn time, even if it's not related to the video. But I can see H3H3's point. And that's really where this entire thing lies. And of course, things ended with a final message from xQc that H3H3 posted talking about how he essentially just flexes his watch and calls H3H3 insecure, which isn't a good look, xQc. You're looking pretty insecure doing that yourself, which is, you know, whatever. I think that he needs to be able to shout out the content creators that he reacts to. Really, that would be the solution to this problem, because it would allow him to still make the content he wants, while also just giving people a little bit of love sometimes. It's really necessary. But that's really where this thing is lying for now. There is a bunch of drama alongside this, a parallel drama situation with xQc revolving around him and his girlfriend, FaZe Adept. That is a whole different story, and apparently there's going to be more opening out about that in the next few days when he goes live, because he plans to open all of this up in a stream. He plans to let it all out. He said that in his Twitter just recently. So that's where things are ending here for now. It's probably a long video. I have no clue. I record this in little snippets, so we'll see what happens there. But I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you subscribed. Maybe if you want to join the community and stick around. I talk about things all the time, every day, so you can always catch something new. But today, of course, we have the song recommendation of the day. I do a bunch of different jump arounds, different time periods, but today I actually wanted to go into one of my favorite artists, which is Joji, related to H3H3 because Filthy Frank interacted with him a few times. But this one song by Joji called Upgrade, I think you should give it a try. It is one of his newer albums, and I don't know if a lot of people have listened to all these, although I know a lot of people has, but I don't know if my audience has. So give Upgrade a listen. That's my song recommendation of the day, and that's about it for me now. Thank you guys for sitting here and watching another video with me. This was fun. My cat is still sitting in my lap very comfily, and I just completely undid his loaf, so I'm sorry, Jedi. Look at him. Oh my god, he's so cute. Anyway, thank you guys for being here. Stick around for more, and as always, adios, arrivederci, goodbye, good night, and credit your reactions.